This should be really cool. I'm just going to walk you through real fast the kind of automation that we have. So I don't know how many of you have ever built a website on your own before. You've chosen a template. It was in the wrong industry. It said locksmiths, and you're not in the locksmith industry. So what are you going to do? You're going to change the images. You're going to change the content. And you may change the color scheme using the buttons inside the admin panel to change the colors. And then that way you go from a red to a blue or a green or a yellow, and it makes sense to you that way. And it's got the right kind of images, and you ripped out the old pages of content, you put in your pages of content, right? Or you override all that lorem ipsum Latin so that you get real content on the website, right? And if you know anything about SEO, you've got decisions to make on the pages. You've got to think about the page title, the meta description, the H1 tag, paragraphs, H2s, all that kind of thing. And if you're going to put images into the middle or into the pages or not, and all this stuff you think about. How long does it normally take to do a domain when you do it, right? And so I want to point this out. We're doing mass now. We can do tons of domains at the exact same time, okay? Hundreds. And so what can we do? Well, let me just show you a number of steps so you understand the idea. We figure out the domain rating so we can decide how we're going to tier the backlinks, to tier the sites to get the most juice through the most of them in the way we want to achieve. But that strategy, it's not something you hit a button to decide. It's just you look it up, which is automated, and then you make decisions. Geo or no geo, it's strategy. Company, name, address, phone. Are we going to use it? The strategy. After that is the backup run in the beginning. If we're going to come back to these websites later and restore them and start again, we can take any one of these things and do a backup. It creates each backup in about 6 seconds, so it's like 10 per minute. But we can do 30 stacks in parallel, so we can do 300 websites backed up per minute if we want. GV uploaded, that's global variables. We can create our one global variable file that will work for all of those websites. You know, like it would have the company name, address, phone, email, and then it would be that company, then the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one for all of these websites, right? And then we upload it all at once to cover all the websites, each row for each different website. So this is automated and it's really, really fast. It's kind of the same thing. It's really, well, it's actually much faster than that, than backups. Pages created in the sitemap. Yeah, do we create the pages? It's automated, believe it or not. It's one step now. I'll show you later. Images done on the pages. Yeah, it's automated. It happens at the same time we press this button. We just decide if we want images to be done with it or not. And so we flip a switch on or off when we hit this button, and that takes care of this if we want it. Isn't that nuts? Logos updated. That has to be done manually because somebody has to make sense of which logos we want and decide which websites they go on. That's done by somebody. Backup number 2 run, automated. Autofill the toss. That's filling out all the little stuff on the front page. That's automated. One step. Then this thing is automated. One step. It goes along with the front page. Toss links fixed. You know how it goes. You got your home page. It's got all these read more buttons. And you create all these inner pages with their long URLs. Now what do you need to do? Go back to the home page, go to each read more button, and go find the URL and like copy, paste it, and paste it in the admin panel for that button to go there. And then go to the next page and copy, paste the URL for the next read more button, right? Not in our case. We say, here are all the domains we just created 100 pages for, go. And it goes and automatically assigns the read mores on the front pages of all the websites to inner pages that already exist. So not just one website, it does like, I don't know, 30 websites in less than a minute. It fixes all the read more buttons on all the front pages of all the 30 websites in like less than a minute, and they all perfectly click through the way they should. Home and or menu pages, press a button, so simple. Indexing set, press a button. Sidebars, press a button. Again, for all the websites at once, for all the websites at once, for all the websites at once in each project we're doing. Integrations on or off. That's automated per integration. Is just flip them on or off. They're off by default. Some we like to flip on. CTA bar, the call to action bar that floats on the page. Do we fill it out, variables or whatever, to match like the company information, and then we can flip it all on or off across all the websites at once. Welcome and exit models. Each one's automated. Click a button. Table of contents. Click a button. Previous to next links at the bottom of all the pages going to the next page or previous page. Click a button. Literally put in the whole websites and it does the table of contents on all the pages of all the websites. Previous next. Fill in the website. It does all the pages of all the websites automatically in one single press button. Interlinks run. Press a button. Tiered linking. Press about 3 buttons to make your strategy decisions, but again, totally automated. Add the banners. We got to create the banners. Someone has to give us the banners and the destination URLs. But then we take the websites and put those 2 things in there really and decide if we wanted to go on the menu too and press 1 button. And it adds the banners to all the pages we care about on all the websites. Added to the Google Search Console. Now that has to be done manually. And upload the sitemap.xml. Each of these has to be done manually. I'm aware that there's more automated ways to do this. We'll get into that soon. Then add to Ahrefs or batch checks. Batch checks are automated. Add to Ahrefs. You import from Google Search Console directly into Ahrefs and it gives you a list. And you flip on or off the ones you want to do. And then you say save and it just straight adds them all. There's really no limits to the projects that we can run in there since we can verify all the projects and add them all in. It's insane. Absolutely powerful. Okay? All of that is automated. Now, when I say automate, I want to tell you kind of how this looks. This is insane. I'm going to show you an example of one. Okay? I've got, let's say, I need this delete. I've got these domains in a given industry where I want the system to create a page for each of these 46 keywords. So it's going to create 46 pages, one for each keyword, onto this domain, and then 46 again onto this domain, but they're going to be all rewritten different. These are going to be 2 competitors aiming for the same keywords on the front page of Google. That's going to be another one competing for the front page of Google for all those keywords, and another one. And another one. They're all going to be competing for the same 46 keywords, which is beautiful. I love it. I can mix and match these files. I can chop some of the keywords off. I can chop out some of the domains. I can add some keywords with some domains. I can mix and match. But just creating a base, I can do that. Google doesn't have a problem with that. So you know what that means? I'm trying to get multiple results to show up on the front page for the same keywords so I can capture as much of the volume of traffic as possible on a keyword by keyword basis through the stack of websites here. See, if you are all 10 of the results, then when someone's looking up and down and shrugs and clicks, it has to be you. There's no one else. You want to be as many of those top 10 results as humanly possible. I explain it as choose the ball under the cup. 3 cups, there's a ball underneath it. Choose the ball, right? Well, what if it was 10 cups with 1 ball? That's you on the front page somewhere. Somebody sits down, picks a cup. That's not you. Chances are 1 in 10 that they'll get you. Unless what? Unless you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 10 on the front page. There's 6 balls underneath the 10 cups. They all belong to you. And you ask someone to pick one. Ooh, chances are a lot better he's going to pick you. Okay? I can choose my tones. I can turn them off or on. It's going to cycle through these. As it cycles through these, as it goes through all these, as it goes through all these. I can decide how long I want the page titles, how long I want the words on the pages to be, how many words per page, and I can give it these queries so it can run really cool, deep level contents onto the pages. Our queries look, like this kind of thing right here. It's crazy. But it's absolutely awesome. These queries force the web pages to be really awesome for their writings, okay? So, and then we can come back and add more. We can append while we create these. So when it makes these, we're going to tell it whether we want it to flip the sidebar on, want it to fill out the meta description on a page-by-page case. We can tell it whether we want the pages to show up in the top menu or just in the sitemap. We can tell it whether it should add images to the pages. Remember when I said the images is a switch, that it's going to add them or not on the inner pages when it makes the pages? That's what this is all about. And then we can tell it if it's going to rewrite the page title, but we don't need it to, so it's off. And the last thing is whether it's creating a whole new page, like if it did not exist already, that's the same as overwriting. It's just going to create the page. Or if it's going to go back through existing pages and add new content to make the page better, to make it more competitive, because we found it rose up to position 12, and we think we can get it to position 6 if we add more content to it. We can come create a new query, like one of these, for a stack of pages that we've got in our list, and we can come have it append that data. All right? Now, what's that mean? I upload this thing. I just filled it out. I basically put the domains here, the keywords there, and that's it. My dummy or default queries, I shouldn't say dummy, not anymore. They're default because they're proven in now. They used to be dummies. They're the same. They don't change. Nothing changes about them. All this stuff, it just cycles through the options that I give it. And this is always how I start new projects off. So I don't have to touch this entire tab. All I had to do was say these domains, these keywords, save it, and guess what? It uploads to our remote control tool to create the next file. What kind of a file can it make with this? I'll show you. What do you think it would do? It would fill it all out, right? Let me see. Which one? That one. So when it fills it all out, yeah, take a look. It goes through whatever the domains were. It figures out the IP address of each domain. It writes an article title for each page, okay, based on the initial keyword that was there. It cycles through the tones. It follows through my format for how many words it has for the titles and how many words it has for the body. Okay, I could have cycled to make some smaller and bigger, but I found the pages do that on their own. The backstory cycled through for total variety, and this is populated over because it needs to be. And all this stuff is set. And yeah, they're all going to be processed, so that's set to on. And everything on the second tab is filled out. It figures out my page slugs for me based on the keywords. A-unique-experience- blah, blah, blah. Create-a-magical-horse theme. These are the page names that go along with those titles, the browser titles that go along with the keywords that we wanted. Okay? And it's going to do whatever I said with the sidebars. It could have cycled through that. It'll fill in all the meta descriptions. It will make sure all the pages show up in the sitemap, not in the menu. But I've got queries that can take the top 5 pages, say, and turn them into menu pages. It'll put in the images in all the pages or some. It'll create page markers. So I can go get like versus like pages off all the related websites, like all the page 15s, no matter which domains, and make changes to them. Append something, you know. It's going to override or append every single case the way I said. Now, I just showed you that one function makes the other function happen, right? I want to point out one more thing about this, about how powerful this is. Or two. Oh, yeah. What did I want to point out? One landscaping with that, and then what? This is what? Horse supply. Oh, horse supplies. Yeah, if this stuff didn't make sense when I jumped across, it's because of that. Now, let me show you one more thing. Say we get tons and tons and tons and tons of rows. Okay? Then I have another function that takes the really long file, which would take a long time to process, and it automatically splits the file to run on different remote control instances at the same time. So it'll do this set together while in parallel this set, while in parallel that set, in parallel that set, in parallel that set, and it'll just keep going. So the crazy thing is, instead of creating one page at a time, we're going to create something like 10 pages in parallel at the same time. So we can move like 10 times faster. So if we had like, I don't know, 1,600 rows, well, it's going to process them as though we only had 160 rows because it's going to do 10 in parallel at the same time. Yes, it's 10 times more costly per second, per minute, but the work gets done 10 times faster. Does that make sense? So if the rows take half a minute each for 1,600 rows, that'd be 800 minutes. But if we're running 10 in parallel, it's only 80 minutes. So an hour and 20 minutes instead of 10 times that, like 13 hours, 14 hours. So the beauty is that is one function did the splitting. And then there's another function that just processes all this stuff, that writes the pages according to these rules. Isn't that crazy? So what now? I think you're starting to understand how much insane control we have over running the town. Okay? We can create pages on multiple websites at once. All those things can run while I'm sleeping at night. They literally, my computers can sit and just pound pages out 24/7, really. Some computers. And they're in minimized windows. They don't even get in the way. I can use a computer that writes 30 pages at the same time in parallel through 1,000 rows, 30,000 pages. And I can do it on a computer I'm working on because it doesn't have any, it's the servers doing the work, not my computer. So those tools I spoke of, the tool that turns this into this, I just want to point this out. Control F, where is it? Batch. See this? Batch articles file. That's the one. I take it and I upload that batch file with the domains and the keywords, and I tell it if I wanted to use 3.5 or 4 when it writes, and if I want it to continue to the next step or not automatically. If it continues to the next step, I need that. Go. And what's the next step? Well, that's the part where it takes that big old file it generated, this guy right here, and starts writing all those pages. That is the step, which it automatically continues to without me if I had to do the 2-step all at once. Isn't that nuts? What about the split Excel function? It's right here. I upload the one file that's got the 1 tabs and submit, and it splits everything and creates all those tabs for me in the one file. And I can now drag that file and drop it into the various instances to have them run in parallel, right? There's even a spot where we just drag it up in one place and it already disperses the jobs across them all and starts them automatically. So I just pointed out how 3 tools work. You know how many tools we have to control everything? I counted. We're at 81. I just explained 3 out of 81 of these tools. These tools allow us to do everything. Fix content. I can put in domains, and I can say whether it's the front page stuff or the pages stuff. I can say whether it's the new or the old system websites, the ones maximized for page speed or the cooler looking designs. And I can literally have it put in a list of change requests and go. And it'll whip through all those domains, and anywhere where something was wrong, it'll fix it. Like maybe the phone number was wrong. It'll fix them all, wherever they exist, all throughout the pages and everything. It'll change token information. If I needed to, I could go from a token to hard words, or from hard words to a token. I can do that. I can change what tokens. I could say instead of the keyword 1 token, make this the keyword 2 token. And it can do that. I can have it actually change coding on the pages as well. So I can change literally anything I need just all of a sudden across thousands of websites in this one motion. Paste in the domains that have the problems, make a decision here, put in my change request and hit go, and that's it. It'll just do itself through all the websites. We've got stuff in here. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We've got stuff like fix menu. I can get the web pages from these domains, and it will download the page title, the meta description, and the browser, page title, sorry, the menu name, the meta description, and the browser title, just for every page on all the websites I put in here is a single Excel file. And so then I can make changes right inside of there, affecting any of the page titles, the meta descriptions I want, whatever. If some of the meta descriptions got created with double quotes around them across who knows, hundreds of pages on hundreds of websites, I can download it all at once, highlight the meta description column, say replace double quotes with nothing, go, fixes them all, save the file, and then I can literally upload and submit, and it will literally fix every meta description of every page of every website all at once without me having to do anything else. I don't have to go into admin panels for any reason. I can do anything I need to do here. The linking, creating linking in the pages. I can put in the domain, say go, and it'll look for wording matches in the paragraphs to any verbiage combinations in the menu name or the browser title, and it'll create the hyperlink. So the more pages I create in the website, the more chances for hyperlinks I have, the greater the density of hyperlinks that link the pages together inside the site in paragraph. Then what? There's a cross-link, and I can say link from this stack of domains, any of the wording in the paragraphs, to these domains, page titles and or browser title wording combinations. And if I want, I can make it a deeper layer, in a deeper layer, and a deeper layer. So I can put in like 5 domains, another 4, another 8, another 2, another 5. And I can just hit go. I put in the domains. I don't even need to tell what to do. Or I can split. I can say, here are 100 domains. Just split them for me into like 20 sets so that I can create tiered backlinking 20 layers deep. It'll be 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 the whole way. And yet all the links will be as though random because it'll be wherever the wording matches exist. Any one page can have links going to another page of the same site and a link going to another page of the same site and a link going to that site, some page, and a link going to that site, some page, and a link going to that site, some page. Perfectly natural and automatic. And it's done fast, just fast. I can do manual linking where I have a file I can download and I can fill in the links I want, the keywords I want, the domains I want, hit go and upload this, and it will go through the domains I said, and it will look for the wording I asked for, the anchor text, anywhere in there, and whenever it finds it, it can highlight if it's not already in use to link out to whatever, the external authority websites I wanted to link out to, or the membership websites I wanted to link out to. You know, so I can do manual linking to ensure the backlinks to the clients I want, even if they didn't show up naturally in the pages. There's more. Keyword linking is for keyword variables. We can literally upload global variables. And that's another thing. I can upload sets of global variables and I can upload new ones later and new ones later. And I don't even need to worry about the old ones anymore. I just add new ones in. And it'll say, okay, and it'll keep adding them to the list. So I can have keyword 1, keyword 2, keyword 3 columns for whatever the reasons are, the anchor text and stuff. And it'll go through those and look for the backlink opportunities and just create them. Okay? I don't know what to tell you. I can have it search for things in the pages and download a list of the pages that have those things. That way I can decide what to do with those pages, like append to them or delete them if I want. I can do any of that. There's so much here. It's so hard to describe how much power there is. There's masking. Masking's amazing. Masking is when you want your website to look like it belongs to a big company, to Google, when Google comes looking, the bots, but anything on the pages that displays on Google really doesn't mention the other companies. It just mentions your stuff. And then when people click on your website, it's your stuff anyway. It's not the company's stuff. So the Google bots think your stuff belongs to big companies, but the people who actually come never knew that. So the reason you would do that, Google trusts the big companies. So it's just one trick for ranking higher faster. We don't really use it much. It's one of those things that we built more for show, but it does work. We did build it. We did test it. It does work. I've had somebody say it's got to be illegal, right? And the answer is not really. Because what are they going to say? Likeness rates? You can't find your company name or phone or address or anything anywhere. You won't find them on the pages. You won't find them in the source code. You won't find them on Google searches. You'll see nothing about your company at all. We used your clout without actually showing it. It's as though we had your company information in hidden tags in our web pages, which, by the way, is legal. We get to reference, anybody does, any websites with any tags in their coding invisibly. And somebody would have to make a claim. Oh, you're violating our trademark. No, we're not showing an image. You're pretending to be us. No, we're not. There's nothing about you on our pages at all for anyone to find, even in the code. When they view source and look, they don't see you. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's a trick that's undefined. It's what you call gray hat, actually. At least it was when we created it. I haven't looked lately, but we haven't used this thing. What we do these days, we compare ourselves to. So one way to make yourself big is which is better, A or B, and that's you, and that's the big name. Well, now it's people search for the big name. Sometimes you can show up by virtue of being an interesting thing to show that's very different than other things. We got our welcome pop-ups, our exit pop-ups, our call to action bars. Call to action bar. Again, it's just a file. We fill it out and upload it, and it populates all those bars on all those sites. And with variables if we want. And same with the welcome pop-up, the exit pop-up. It's the same kind of thing. We just fill out the options and upload the stuff. We've got everything in here. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's so many tools that we use all the time, but it means this. Okay, here, let me just come down to brass tacks. Here's what it means. We can create pages better and faster than anyone. We can create the backlinking layers better and faster than anyone, and completely naturally. They're all doing it by hand. We do it automatically across tons of websites, tons of pages, and it's normal. It looks great to the eye. Nothing wrong with it to Google. Okay? We can come back and make changes. If we thought, oh, we should have put our company names at the end of the page titles, I'm going to fix the menu. I'm going to get the pages. I'm going to download them. I'm going to go to that column. I'm going to append a pipe and the company name token because it's in our global variables. And just bring it all the way down in the page title, the browser title. Then I'm going to save it and upload it, and it's going to overwrite all those pages on all those websites to have the pipe company name at the end. Then guess what someone's going to say to me a week later? Oh, that's great, but you shouldn't use the company name. You should have used the phone number. Oh, and so I'm going to get the pages, download them again, open it, replace the company name with the phone token, save, upload. All those pages are overwritten with the perfect answer. At the end of every page title, like this page title here, it'll have the pipe and either the company name or the phone number, whatever we wanted, right? Everything controllable immediately and directly. We don't have to upload whole var sheets anymore, reproduce the pages just to make a change. That used to be fast too, but what we have now is just so much faster. We can add tracking code to everything really, really fast or change it from our default to a client. We can add moment CRM coding or anything like that. We can flip the indexing on or off to tell Google to index the pages or not. We can download the tracking data from the websites. We can download domain data to know what the themes are and the versions and what templates they're on. We can create backups of all the domains really, really fast. It's the one where it said, did the backup get run? Did the other backup get run? Do I have backups in here? Yeah, I got backups in here. That's it. So anytime I could say I need to restore this thing, I can restore it, right? Anytime I want to add more domains for backups, I just paste in the domain names and hit backup. It's like 6 seconds a domain. Isn't that nuts? And it date timestamps them. Okay? There's all of this incredible control. And that's what I mean. We can create, we can manipulate, we can improve, and we can react to anything. Ahrefs gives us a list of, URLs that are getting close for these keywords. I'm going to go download those URLs from those websites. I can do it. And then for those URLs, for those keywords, I'm going to use a query that says, make this page more about this keyword. Basically, add some new stuff to the page about this keyword. Write a couple of paragraphs in about this keyword. Put in some references about this keyword. And I'm going to have it do that to all those pages. I'm going to upload them. And guess what? All those pages are going to have more stuff added for their own keywords. And they're going to start to automatically rank higher now. So there's no thought involved to strategically beating the competition anymore, hardly. The thought is just, what do we want to do today? Because the rest of it is so automatic now in our system. Yeah, it's so automatic that all we do is follow the rules. Ahrefs says, do this now. And we go, okay, we got all the tools. We'll just go, oh, there it is, and we'll do it. Then Ahrefs says, great, now do this to rank higher on more keywords. Oh, okay, I'm going to do it right here. All right, great. And I'll just do it, right? So that's how hard it is to win. It's just automatic. I don't know anyone that has tools like this for manipulating hundreds to thousands of pages on hundreds to thousands of websites all at once. And not just that, but this entire thing I'm showing you right here, we have 30 of them. They run in parallel. And because they run in parallel, we can do 30 times the work that you can see being performed on one of these all at the same time. The scalability and the control that we have beats anyone I can imagine in any industry I can imagine. So even the Oxbow Tavern guys, however it is they made their websites, because they have a number, I don't think that they can make and control websites the way we can as well as we can. I don't know anyone that can do this. Okay? So when I'm talking about the Website Flipping Club, this ensures that we're in control all the time. We watch the graphs, figure out why anything's not rising, grab the data, pump it back in here, and make it rise. We just force everything to work. And we have the best set of tools that I know, 81 of them, for mass controlling websites like that. All right. I hope that gets your attention. So in the next videos and stuff, we'll be talking about what we're doing, and we'll be talking about how you can do things like this with your own templates, how you can do things like this through WFC with us, and for some of you guys, just depending on how techy you are, who wants to rent a tool like this? Expensive. But if you're in the game for that and you want to talk big, then that is a possibility. Okay, so you'll want to talk to me about that, and we'll discuss it. It's not an open offer as much as who wants, because it's just hard for people to get. But the reality check is you can run your websites like this. You never have to log into an admin panel on a single website for any reason at all. And so if you're big enough to be able to get one or more AWS servers, get a bunch of cPanels going, get a bunch of domains going, 100, 200, and you say, I want to use a tool like this to manipulate them and see what I can do for myself. I'm going to rent these tools from you, and that's my payment to you. Beyond that, I'm going to see what I can do on my own. It's on the floor as an option, or on the table as an option. So there you go. A lot of power. All right, talk to you soon.